All right, then it's my turn. Now I would like to show you some things that we have done in Port of Tallinn. All right. First of all, just to let you know, we are run in a very different way than any other port in Europe. So we actually 67% of state-owned and 33% is publicly traded on Tallinn Nasdaq, which is then part of American Nasdaq. What I always say to the clients is that state gives you security. Usually the states don't go to bankruptcy. I certainly hope Estonian state won't. And secondly, we have to be totally transparent. So we have to follow all the Nasdaq rules, or otherwise there will be big penalties for us. Also, we are totally free of any political influence. We don't have any politicians in the supervisory board. We don't have any politicians in the board. We have 4 business areas. Passengers is one of the biggest one of them. So before the COVID, we serviced 10 million passengers, or actually 10.5 million passengers. We are getting back to that very, very rapidly now. We will probably end up close to 80% from that now. This actually makes us the 4th biggest passenger port in Europe. So the first one would be Dover, then Stockholm, then Helsinki, and then Tallinn. Also, we do quite a lot of cargo. Again, we are a little bit behind the 18 million that we used to do, but because of mainly the war and that we don't have any Russian transit anymore, we don't want to touch that. But we are getting somewhere 14 million this year. Then untypically, we are also a shipping company. We service state with 4 brand new ferries between mainland and big islands in Estonia. And we also have 1 old ferry. And then we have icebreaker that services also government in the wintertime, but in the summertime we do the offshore works. And of course, real estate. We are landlord port, so we own all the land that is in the port area, and we are developing that. So currently you are in the Tallinn Old City Harbour, which is then located between the so-called Old City and the city. So the Old City, if you haven't been, you should. 14th, 15th century buildings. One of the most, let's say, unique or one place where the whole city center is attached. So we have a mix of history and also new innovations here. Like I said, 10 million passengers. We have 2 ferry connections with 3 operators here. So we service passenger business between Tallinn and Helsinki, and then we have a Stockholm line also. We have birthplaces for up to 7 cruise ships, and we can service with the 4 berths. We can service as big cruise ships as there are. We have been having here more than 350-meter long cruise ships, so everybody is very welcome. And you are in the cruise terminal now. I'm going to talk longer about this in the end of the presentation, but this is really a state-of-art ferry terminal. We do have attractive discount system for the port dues. We use the environmental ship index, and we literally pay 600,000 euros back to the ferry companies every year. We like to have tight strategic cooperation with all the stakeholders, so city, ferry lines, tour operators, state, and we of course focus on sustainability. Why is sustainability important for us? We see really that there is opportunity to grow the passenger business through that, but also you have to see that we are on the Baltic Sea region where everybody is very sustainable and moving to the greener life, so we don't have a choice. Let's say the vision of Cruise Europe, for example, is to be the world's leading sustainable cruise region. Cruise Baltic values are bold, responsible, collaborative, transparent. We are part of EU Green Deal and Fit 55. And of course, as you know, Tallinn is the European Green Capital, and we're supporting that very much. Yesterday there was an event, maybe you saw it, we signed together with the Port of Helsinki and all the free ferry operators and also the Ministry of Environment in Estonia and also the City of Helsinki and City of Tallinn, a green corridor MO here. And this actually is quite a unique thing. You might know that there is 20 green corridors in Europe, but there is none of them that would be green in a sense that it has all the stakeholders involved. So usually it just means that there is one ship that uses green energy or there is one shipping line that wants to be green. In our case, we would really like to have the city transport green, all the port facilities green, all the ferry lines and the passengers being green, recycle, using green energy, and that's both sides of the bay. Before we signed this, we also met with Port of Stockholm, and they're very much interested in doing the same thing. So hopefully we will have a second green corridor very soon. Now, some of the things that we have done in Port of Tallinn, we actually have mapped in 2019 already our CO2 emissions, and we have managed to do that in all three scopes. So not only port direct, but also port indirect, and also the port tenants and other sources. It's easy to lower the emission in first two scopes, and we have managed to do that quite a lot. You can see it's the first graph here. The second one with the port tenants and all the shipping lines, it's a little bit different. So, as you can see, 55% of all the CO2 emissions are coming from there. But we also have some of the things that we have done together with them. First of them is auto mooring, and Ulla said very well. This is something that really creates a shorter mooring time. One thing that you didn't mention is that actually you need only the captain to moor the ship. So the captain has a tablet, and he only with himself can do the mooring. So we don't need the people in the port area. Of course, you have to have some in case, like you said, when it's a stormy weather, you need to put the lines also. But otherwise, it's totally one man business. It creates less air pollution, less vibration. And we have had this in use from 2021. And 3 quays are equipped with that. The same, by the way, is done then in Helsinki. Onshore power, and Simone told a lot about that. We also like that. We have this in 4 quays in the old port. And we have been connecting ships since 2021. Finnish and Swedish routes. And another thing that you get a lot of questions or there is a lot of mess about what is the standard. and you know, there are a lot of ships, newer ships that are in 50 hertz, and then there are older ships that are in 60 hertz. We have managed to agree with Port of Helsinki, Port of Stockholm, and Port of Tallinn that we use the same frequency and the same voltage. Then Ulla also told a lot about alternative fuels, and we believe very much into that. We also believe so much into that we see that in next 5 years, maybe this would help us to overcome the Russian transit that we had. Usually it was the oil. So we really support this, and we are part of the hydrogen strategy of Estonia. We would like to have alternative fuel hubs in our cargo ports, which are Paldiski and Muuga. We are thinking about doing or refurbishing our ferries to use hydrogen or ammonia. And also we are updating already the port auxiliary fleet. This is mainly going to be on the hydrogen side. We also think about giving the shore power for cruise ships. And just to imagine how difficult it actually is, one cruise ship could have up to 5,000-6,000 passengers and crew personnel on that. So in Estonian measures this is a small town. So imagine how much energy you would need at certain time. And usually the cruise ships in around this area come at the summertime. So what are you going to do with that electricity then on the wintertime? But we have some plans, and we are already implementing them. Then part of being a sustainable port is also having a sustainable and good environment for all the people. So we have renovated D terminal. This is the one that our biggest operator, Tallink, uses. Also, we have built the cruise terminal, and now we are starting to build, and actually we are now having a tender for the architectural plan of that, the A terminal. So we will have all the 3 terminals renovated. We have, like I said, 4 cruise piers here, which we can then have very long ships coming here. On the best days, we have had up to 10,000 people in Tallinn city. Just to explain what are the problems coming with that, the population of Estonia is 1.3 million. We have about 450 people living in Tallinn, and before the COVID, we would have had 650,000 cruise passengers. So you can imagine what is the effect on the locals on getting that. So how we manage to overcome these problems is, firstly, we want to give back something to the locals. Even when we built this cruise terminal, it was not only meant for servicing the cruise passengers, but there is a promenade that everybody can use. It's not the ISBS area. Also, we can have events here, up to 2,000 people, which again is a good thing for the city and the local community, because there's a lack of these kind of venues here. It was a BIM project. We use seawater-based heating and cooling. We have solar panels here. You can see there's a Kebony wood here with lower carbon footprint. We have smart ventilation, rail plants, and also we have innovative wastewater reception facilities here. I talked a little bit about the cruise promenade already. You can go and check it out yourself. We also have a restaurant, outdoor gym here, and a kids playground. And where we see the challenges is smart management of the crowds. We have been trying to spread these 10,000 people daily so that they all don't go to the old town at the same time. We have also been managing to send some of the groups outside of the city. Estonia is not a big country, so you can get very quickly to, let's say, Haapsalu or Pärnu in absolutely 1 hour. We try to encourage people to stay longer. We have walking and bike tours also, and we try to support the cruise tourism and maritime industry in general. I'm going to skip this one. And finally, what we also try to tell to the general public, but also the city, that there is a quite good economic contribution coming from the cruise tourism. In 2016, we actually made a survey that, and I think the number now is much bigger because of the inflation, but at that time, one cruise tourist spent about 65 euros here in Tallinn. We try to market the destination so that people that come here with the cruise passenger ships, they would like to come back later and maybe stay overnight. We implement how many working places actually this cruise tourism creates in Estonia and keeps up. And I also think that there is a broadening view for the Estonians to see the different cultures, and the same for the different cultures or different nations to see Estonia. So with that, I thank you.